in mind where the players are from and what the actual fan base is here, because there's massive Filipino audience. Keep that in mind next time you make the schedule.
Too, and I feel a little bit adopted when I play doubles with her.
The news hit Paris like a shockwave. Nobody inside the tennis world fully expected. And within hours, it had already escaped the boundaries of sport and turned into a full-scale cultural frenzy. Tickets for Alex Eala's French Open match, once considered a routine early round attraction, had exploded to nearly $2,000 on resale markets, sending the entire WTA ecosystem into sudden panic as officials scrambled to understand how a single rising teenager had managed to transform a standard tournament fixture into one of the most in-demand events of the season. Inside the corridors of the tennis establishment, whispers turned into urgent meetings as analysts tried to decode the phenomenon. Because this wasn't supposed to happen at this stage. Not for a player still carving her identity on the global stage. Not for a match that historically would have been overshadowed by bigger names on court, Felipe Chatrier. Yet here they were, watching something entirely different unfold in real time. Fans from across Europe, Asia, and even North America flooding ticket platforms. Bots and scalpers pushing prices into the stratosphere. And social media erupting with clips, predictions, and emotional declarations that this match had become must-see history in the making. The WTA, usually confident in its event management structure, reportedly went into internal review mode as executives questioned whether they had underestimated the commercial gravity of new generation stars. Because Alex Eala wasn't just trending, she was detonating attention curves normally reserved for Grand Slam finals, not early round clashes. And the irony was impossible to ignore. A sport constantly searching for its next global icon may have already been hosting her emergence in plain sight, while failing to price it accordingly. Outside the stadium, the atmosphere in Paris shifted dramatically as scalpers began openly advertising premium seats at prices once unimaginable for anything outside men's semifinals or finals, with fans describing the situation as chaotic but irresistible. And travel agencies reporting last-minute bookings surging from fans willing to fly in just for a chance to witness what they believed could be a career-defining performance, regardless of cost. Commentators began drawing comparisons to past tennis booms, Sharapova's breakthrough aura, Serena's early dominance, even the sudden spikes around young prodigies like Coco Gauff, but even those comparisons struggled to fully explain the speed and intensity of this particular surge. Because this wasn't just about rankings or titles, it was about narrative electricity. The kind of sporting aura that turns every rally into a cinematic moment and every point into a viral clip waiting to happen. Inside WTA offices, concern mixed with awe, as executives reportedly debated whether ticketing models needed restructuring for rising stars whose draw power now exceeded traditional seating logic, while broadcasters quietly adjusted camera priorities and production angles, anticipating that demand for highlight moments would spike beyond normal broadcast cycles. Meanwhile, in the streets of Paris, fans wearing homemade signs with Eala's name gathered outside the venue hours before gates opened, chanting and recording content for platforms where the match had already begun, trending under multiple hashtags, effectively turning a tennis match into a live global digital event before a single ball had been struck. The surreal part, according to insiders, was that even veteran players began acknowledging the shift, with some reportedly surprised at how quickly attention had consolidated around a single match, especially in a tournament known for its deep field of elite talent. Yet somehow, now orbiting around one storyline that refused to fade. Ticket resale platforms, usually predictable in their pricing curves, were reportedly overwhelmed as algorithms failed to stabilize demand, with prices fluctuating wildly between minutes, sometimes jumping hundreds of dollars in seconds, depending on social media activity, spikes. And as all of this unfolded, the central question hanging over the French Open became unavoidable. Was this a one-time frenzy driven by hype? Or the beginning of a structural shift in women's tennis where emerging stars like Alex Eala can independently generate superstar-level economic gravity before even reaching the later rounds of a Grand Slam? No one inside the sport seemed willing to give a definitive answer yet. But one thing was already clear in Parisian air. Thick with anticipation and flashing camera lights, something had changed. And it wasn't just ticket prices, it was the entire perception of what a must-watch tennis match could be. As a new generation of fans, fueled by viral momentum and emotional investment, transformed a single fixture into one of the hottest sporting tickets on earth, leaving the WTA, broadcasters, and even seasoned analysts racing to catch up with a reality that had already slipped beyond their control.